Hi friends, it's Sarah, the owner and maker behind Multifarious Nature. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you are a new viewer, welcome. And if you're a returning viewer, huge welcome back to you. I'm glad you guys are here for another video. I'm sorry it's been a couple weeks. Last week I had every intention of recording a video and that did not happen. I did not have any time. It was kind of a crazy week and there's been a lot going on and I look forward to sharing with that information with you in the near future, but at the moment I'm just not in a position to be doing that, but it's going to be exciting and it's all good things. So I just wanted to let you guys know that. An elephant in the room, because you're going to see it while I'm trying to show you objects, is my wrist. Don't worry, it's not broken. Here in Michigan 2 days ago, believe it or not, it was 70 degrees Fahrenheit, and that's extremely warm for February in Michigan. And I took every advantage of that. Like I said in prior videos, I'm trying to get more exercise and be active. And I went outside and did just that. But I have my roller skates on. I have roller skates. I've had all the gear on, you guys. I had my knee pads, my elbow pads, my wrist guards. I had a helmet on. And thank goodness for that, because I was just zooming along on there in our driveway. And I fell. I wiped out major. Actually, I wiped out twice. The first time is the doozy. The second time, I just scraped up my shoulder and it's totally fine. It's just kind of like a rug burn. The fabric kind of irritated my skin, and I kind of bruised my shin. But the first time I fell, I did a doozy, because when you fall, you really should like roll into your fall. If you're not someone who normally falls a lot, you really should roll into the fall, especially if you're roller skating or rollerblading. And I didn't. For some reason, I decided to try to catch myself, because, well, that's kind of your instinct. You want to catch yourself. But I did it in a really weird way. So, you know those videos of people roller skating and your feet kind of go brrrr. It's like something out of a cartoon and ridiculous. That's basically what I did. And I kind of just scrambled and I put my arm out, landed on it funny. And yeah, safe to say it's a little irritated. It's primarily right here that it hurts when I push against things. It's definitely feeling better though today. It's still irritated though, so I did wear a brace again to work to prevent more injury, because I use a computer all day. So I did that, and then I sleep without it on my wrist, so I do let it kind of do its thing. But yeah, I definitely irritated. The muscle in here is very irritated, but I'm pretty positive at this point, now that it's been 2 days after I fell, nothing is broken that I'm aware of. I would think I'd see some major discoloration and I'd be in an extreme amount of pain if something was broken. That's my assumption. I have gratefully, thank you Lord, have never broken anything, but I have certainly bruised enough bones and enough things in my body to realize that I probably bruised something. It probably irritated it. So it's totally fine, but you know, that's what happens when you're active and outside and having fun, thinking you're a kid and you're not. and I'm in my 30s and I don't bounce as well as I used to, so I just have to kind of be kind to myself. But we'll get into everything here. It's going to be a rather short video. As I mentioned, we're really pretty busy around here these days, so I just want to get into it. I had 2 projects I worked on. I did not work on much this week. Last weekend I did some more spinning with my Gotland fleece. That is a lamb fleece. I was spinning that and I really enjoyed that. It is so relaxing. I've been doing that a lot on the weekends just to unwind, and when I get up early in the morning especially, just start the day off in a nice calm fashion. It's wonderful. So highly recommend spinning as a way to start your day if you're looking for something extremely relaxing. But you know, knitting is as well. So these are the 2 projects I worked on primarily this week. I worked on my Wildflowers top the past couple weeks a lot. I worked on this a lot. So the pattern is by Melanie Hoffman. It's using Nutiden yarn and Old Mill yarn. I want to say it's not lace weight. I always struggle with this, but it's thinner. I think it's called cobweb when it's thinner than lace weight. I say this is closer to cobweb weight, so when it's held double, it's like lace weight. And then I'm holding 2 strands of this with 2 strands of Nutiden, and the colorway is Vaja Hem. I think that's how you say it. I've got it over there somewhere. But that's what it looks like. So it gives it this really cool marled effect. It makes it even more of an oatmeal color leans a little more towards the brown now because this is more oatmeal. So with the brown, it makes it kind of a nice darker oatmeal. It adds some amazing depth to the yoke. So this is my second time knitting this sweater. I've knit it before, and I just used kind of it's a light gray. It's a very light gray. Plutalope. Trying to think of the name. Plutalope held double, and I love that sweater so much. I wore it yesterday actually, and this is going to be slightly longer. I just made just a hair longer. I'm actually going to do the ribbing the proper amount. The original one, I think I did about 2 inches of ribbing or so. I'm actually going to be doing it longer than that. This is a pay-for pattern, and then I will make my way to the sleeves. So normally I do the sleeves before I finish off the body, but based on the amount of wool I have, I'm pretty positive that I'm not going to have to worry about running out of my sleeves. If anything, I'm going to have extra, but I will definitely do the embroidery. I am probably going to do what I did with the Plutalope. So Plutalope, I used up every single ounce except for like maybe a teeny tiny little bit of the Plutalope. I did as much as I possibly could basically with it. And I would do the same thing to this. However, it worked out well with the Plutalope. I was able to do the sleeves. There's little flowers on it. And then I was able to do flowers across the front. And I did not have enough to do flowers on the back. And originally the pattern has flowers all the way around. Well, that actually works out nicely because when you do sweaters, isn't it so hard to tell your front from your back sometimes? I struggle with that myself. Other than putting a tag in it, it's really hard to tell. If there's not major short row shaping that makes like the back longer and things like that. This does not have a lot of that, so it can be kind of hard to tell the back from the front. A little bit. There is short row shaping though, so I am going to probably do the same thing, do the flowers across the front. That way I'll be able to tell the difference between the front and the back easily by looking at it quick, and then I don't have to try to figure it out because it becomes a whole thing. But yeah, I'm really enjoying it. As I mentioned, it was getting warmer. Well, now I'm wearing a huge sweater, and guess what? It's like 36 degrees outside, so we're back to winter. Actually, it was pretty crazy. So it was 70 degrees here, 70 degrees Fahrenheit, and the very next day it was snowing. It was snowing outside, and it was 26 degrees. So that was a extreme temperature change. I was so grateful I did not get a headache. I normally get headaches when that happens, so that was pretty much a miracle. So there you go. I'm loving it. Absolutely loving it. And it's really fun to work on. It uses larger needles, so you can just cruise along on it. And it's a nice variety. If you're trying to mix up your needle size, I like to do that myself. I have a tendency to work with a lot of small needles because I like to do socks and shawls, and a lot of those types of things, if you're using fingering weight yarn in particular, are probably going to be on the smaller size, like 1.25 millimeter, and things of that nature. So they're pretty tiny, and that can be hard on your hands, and so it really is nice to mix it up and do something like this, which, did I write down the needle size? I probably didn't, and I don't have the pattern with me. That's okay. If you look on Ravelry, and I usually try to include the link below of the patterns that I'm working on, the Wildflowers Path has all the sizes of the needles and everything, but I do recommend it. I highly recommend it. I'm knitting it twice. I always say the pattern must be pretty good if I knit it twice, so I do not like to repeat patterns. The other pattern that I am very much enjoying working on my lunch breaks is my half and half triangles wrap. I am mid-row per the usual, and this looks enormous right now. It looks weird because, of course, I'm mid-row, so it's all squished up. But I have the one triangle finished, and that is my Multifarious Nature colorway. This is, my brain is just gone today, I'm sorry. Oh dear, is that crazy or what? Help me out, people. What is this color? Is that not, oh, Kismet. It's Kismet. Oh boy. I had decaf coffee today. I should have some caffeine in my body. But this is Kismet, so it's a really fun speckle, which you can see there's some fun browns. There's actually some lilac in there speckling, some salmon speckling, and like some tan speckling, taupe. It's really, really pretty. And overall kind of reads more as a peach color. It's a peach, but it has a lot of fun coloring going on in it. So that was a lot of fun to knit this. This triangle in particular went really, really fast because anytime you knit with speckles or variegated, you just kind of want to get to the next speckle. So it's a lot of fun. And then the next colorway that I'm currently using is the other triangle, which I am so close, you guys. Look at this. This is all I have left. When I say all I have left, it's actually quite a bit, but because every single time I pick up one of these stitches, you have to knit across the entire row again. So, but this colorway is my Strawberry Shortcake colorway. I do have Kismet dyed up in the shop currently. I do not have Strawberry Shortcake dyed up, but if you request it, I'm happy to dye it up for you. And that is a tonal, really vibrant pink. This is like my version of a Barbie pink. I love it. It's fun. I'm not really a pink girl, but I have to say I just kind of really enjoy working with it. I'm a girly girl at heart, but I do like being outside in the dirt sometimes too, so I don't know. I'm just one of those. Alright, but that is the half and half triangles wrap. It's a lot of fun. So this is the pattern by Pearl Soho. It's a free pattern. I'm late to the game. Many people have already made this multiple times. I've seen people that have made, I think, 7 of them, and they're still working on more, and I can see why. I really do enjoy working on this a lot. It is just knitting back and forth, and then when you get to your midsection, that's where you change it up. So you either do a wrap and turn, which I think the pattern originally calls for a wrap and turn, but I like the look of a German short row. It's a lot more intuitive for me when I'm doing it, so I do it that way. And there is, I'm trying to think of her name. She did a tutorial on how to do it because she's made a couple half and half triangles wraps. I'm trying to think of her name. It's if I can think of it, I'll put it in the down below here. But oh wait, I think I got it. Her channel, I think it's Edible Thoughts Makes. I'm pretty sure that's what it's called. I'll look it up and I will put a link below. But I really enjoy that tutorial because that helped me a lot because I like doing German short rows, which is why I like doing it for sweaters and everything. So yeah, I've just been doing that and cruising along on it, very much enjoying it. It's very relaxing, and I know this is a wrap. I mean, technically it is a shawl. I may wear it if I get in my druthers to wear it. This color I could definitely see as a color that I would wear a lot, but vibrant pink like this is not exactly one of my go-to colors to wear. I'm definitely more of a neutral girl or the deeper colors. However, maybe if I did it with this on the top and the pink on the underside, I could probably do that. I know it would look very pretty. This color looks really nice against, I think, many skin tones. And but my primary reason for making this half and half triangles wrap is not to use it as a wrap, but actually use it as a blanket. It's huge. I made the bigger size. There's a big and bigger size, and I made the bigger size. Might as well. Might as well. You're committing to it already, and you have to use the same amount of skeins. Like, it's just a little less yardage, but either way, you're going to break into that last skein according to the pattern. So why not make the bigger size? Just saying. That's all I have to say about that. So I made the bigger size, like I said. I made the bigger size. And this is what I have left. I did not weigh it. This is what I have left of the last skein of my Kismet. So I'd say it's probably, oh, I don't know, maybe 40, 50 grams. I don't think it's 50. It's probably a little under 50 grams. But that's what you have left. So even with the largest size, you still have quite a bit left. I don't think I'm an extremely tight knitter, so I think that gives you some leeway depending on how you knit. But I really am enjoying this pattern a lot. I could see myself definitely making another one at some point. Would I do it right away? Possibly. I don't think I will, but I might. Just because I can see why people like to have one on the needles at all times. Because I have had days where I'm like, I just can't get it in my head to follow a pattern. And this pattern is so intuitive. Once you start doing it, you do not have to look at it. And it's my go-to on those days or weeks when I'm like, I cannot focus on a pattern that I have to watch and look at all the time. Even if it's a pretty basic pattern that has something I have to look at, I just gravitate towards this during those times, and it meets that need. So if you're looking for something very relaxing and therapeutic, I definitely recommend the Half and Half Triangles Wrap by Pearl Soho. So that is what this beauty is. And I am very much looking forward to using it. Oh, I think it's going to be so comfortable and cozy. I think this is going to be bigger than my habitation throw. So I made a habitation throw with my Advent last year. Or, no, the year before. Yeah, last year. I'm trying to remember. These years have just gotten away from me, will you guys? Not last year, the year prior. Oh my gosh. 2 years ago I made the habitation throw. Oh boy. Anyway, that is a smaller blanket. That's the first blanket, like actual blanket that I've made. So this is going to be bigger than that, I'm pretty sure. And I'm all for it. All for it. It's a cozy wool. This is the Alpaca Blend. So just to show you guys, so you can see what it looks like. You can really see it like this. So this is my Alpaca Merino Nylon Blend. So it's primarily a merino. It's 20% superfine alpaca, 60% superwash merino, and 10%, no, 20. I can do math. 20% nylon. And you can see that really pretty fuzzy halo on there. That is, it's a lot of it's the merino, but there's these little hairs that stick up a little bit higher. I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, see that long one by my nail up here? That is alpaca, but it's super fine alpaca. It is super, super soft. I love it. To me, there's no prickle factor, but I have worked up my skin, so there are certain, or desensitized, that's probably a better way of saying it. Some of my sweaters, like this one here, is a Irish wool sweater. It is on the more rustic side, I would say, and it does not make me itch. Sometimes on my neck, I'll feel a little bit, but it doesn't really make me itch that much. But alpaca, this is soft baby alpaca, super soft. But then this is my BFL base. So it's a BFL nylon. So it's 75% superwash BFL and 25% nylon. And it's very soft. It has this really plump look to it. But if you compare these two, you can see how there's much more of a halo going on here. There's still a little halo, but there's definitely more on this one. So just kind of that soft and fluffy factor, where BFL is definitely that more like resilient, hard wearing, great for socks, but also very good for shawls, because I've used it for shawls and it really retains its shape and it looks brand new for a very long time. I have quite a few shawls and such behind me that I have knit with it, and I love it. So that is it for my works in progress. I do not have any finished objects. Oh, that's right, I didn't show you guys my other sweater yet because I was going to wear it last week. Oh well. Next week maybe I'll wear it. My birch pullover. It's finished, and I meant to wear it, and I didn't. Oh well. That's what happens when you're in a frantic frenzy to try to record while there's still light outside, because guess what? We have beautiful sunlight. This is natural light, you guys, and it's sunny and it's beautiful. It's cold. It's cold, but it's beautiful. So I'm very grateful for it. It makes me feel really good. And on a bonus note, because this is more, I guess, life update into things. So I'd love to hear from you guys about your life update. How are you doing with this weird weather? I guarantee you've probably had weird weather too. It seems to be going throughout the United States. My parents live in Illinois, and they had multiple tornadoes apparently, either touchdown or it's crazy, crazy times. But I'd love to hear how you guys are doing. Hopefully you did not have any tornadoes by you. I hope not. I hope not. It's not pleasant. We did not have any here. Apparently there was one kind of like an hour or so from us. I don't know. We had a lot of wind. We had a lot of wind that night, and thunder and lightning, and there was some massive hail about an hour from us. So where this tornado apparently touched down, there was hail that was over the size, like bigger than the size of a golf ball. But that's pretty big. I don't think I've ever encountered that before, and that definitely would damage your vehicle. So crazy, absolutely crazy. As far as other life update end of things, our birds are all doing really good. So we still have our 3 chickens. Yay! They're going strong. And we have our 2 ducks, and they're still laying eggs. They're finally starting to get a little bit more in a rhythm of laying more eggs, kind of. That's kind of hit or miss still. There's certain birds that are pretty reliable. The ducks are very reliable. The chickens are hit and miss. There's our bar rock, though. She pretty much lays an egg every single day, for the most part. It has to be like really, 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 really cold, and then maybe she won't lay an egg. But for the most part, she's laid an egg every single day this winter, which is crazy. And what else? We are frenzy getting ready for the little lammies. So I don't think I told you guys yet. So I did put down a deposit on a lamb, which is very exciting. So 1 so far. And I get to meet them, like a bunch of the lambs that are available, hopefully next week. It'll be after, I think probably after I do next week's video. So, but if it's before, I will share information. But I'm really excited because they're so stinking cute. And the breeder showed some photos of her son actually like kind of socializing the little lambs, the Shetland lambs, and oh my goodness, they are so adorable. They're little bitties, and they still have a couple weeks that they have to be with their mother before they're weaned. So about a month, probably about a month and a half or so still, which is great. That's totally fine because we still have to get our fencing in. We haven't done that yet. That's a lot of work. We've been buying parts to do so and getting ready for that and getting their little house ready. So I helped a little bit last time, but my husband's definitely primarily the one building it. He's doing an amazing job. It's really cool, and it's like a fort. It's amazing. He even built me a little bench in the corner so I can sit with the lamps. I'm really excited about that. And he built this really cool door that it's like a hidden door, like a pocket door almost, but it's like rails, so when you pull it out, they can see through it, but they can't get out, and it's really cool. So I love that. And yeah, there's little windows in it, so there'll be light. And I'm really, really excited. It's turning out amazing. So he's working very hard on that, and it is nearly finished. And then we'll be able to, I gotta paint it. I have to paint it. That's one of my big contributions. I need to paint it. But I've been waiting for this weather because you really need it. The temperature kind of around 50 degrees or so to actually paint, because otherwise the paint's just gonna get bubbly and chip, and it won't be good. Too much, the temperature's too dramatic of a temperature change. Oh, I can speak. Anyway, yeah, so that's my next thing. I need to paint it, and we need to finish putting the roof on it. It has a nice metal roof. And then we gotta work on the fencing, which is why I need to heal up my arm here, because I need to use my brute strength to be able to help. And yeah, it's kind of putting a kink in my exercise regimen too, so that's not exactly good. But I'm pumped, you guys. I'm so excited. We are close. We're like, I can see the end. So this weekend, I'm really excited. We're gonna pick up some more seed. So we're gonna be overseeding. So we have like a little pasture. Basically, we have a pasture. It's probably about 1.25 acres maybe or so. It's a decent size. It's a large portion of our property. And there is grass coming up. I mean, I can see it. There's the dry grass on top, which they can also eat, but there's also the grass under it that is green and luscious, right? That's the stuff they want. And that's starting to come up and really starting to look beautiful, but it's underneath the dry stuff. And then what we're going to do is called overseeding, where we're going to spread the seed on top, and then we're just going to let them have free reign. It's not exactly what I want to do long term. I would like to do the pasture rotation because that way it just helps with parasite issues. Shetlands are supposed to be pretty resilient anyway, but frankly, sheep are just susceptible to parasites. So you just really want to make sure that you rotate them so they're not just like pooping and eating in the same spot all the time, because I've been told by many sheep shepherdesses and shepherds that the sheep like to go for the things they like the most. It's just like humans, right? If you had, I don't know, if you have a sweet tooth and you've got cake in front of you or a salad, you're probably going to eat the cake. So that's what they tend to do. And apparently they will just keep eating it until they basically kill it. And then they'll eat the other stuff because then they have no choice and they have to. Which I don't really want them to do that. I prefer that they eat what they need to and get through it and then move to the next one every couple of days. That way your pasture stays strong and hardy and you're not killing things off. Because the goal is to rotate them back and be all good and not have to reseed, or at least not have to reseed much, because it should do itself because it's been fertilized and everything by the sheep. So it's kind of a beautiful system when it's done properly. But that takes fencing that's movable and things like that, which again, that's a lot of investment up front. We're doing this kind of all at once, which is a lot. So that probably won't happen right away. But I think we can like save for that or something. I might be able to get some used fencing maybe. That would be good. We really want to do that rotational grazing because that's really good for their health. It's also really good for the health of the pasture. So this weekend we're going to be buying bunch of seed to put down and hopefully have time to spread it Sunday or Saturday, depending on what our weekend looks like. I would like to spread it because then that gives it a good month and a half to germinate and grow. That is the goal. You really want to give it at least a month mainly, and that would be at least a month and a half before it would be stepped on by little hooves. So I think that would be amazing. And then they'd have a really nice, rich pasture to come to. So I'm really excited. And they're going to be super adorable. And I cannot wait to share photos with you guys. I will definitely share photos once we get them. And if I get really savvy and can figure out how to make like little short videos or something, I would love to share little videos with them because they're probably going to be scared of me at first, but they're going to be so cute. So who cares if they're scared of me? Anyway, I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your week. This was a slightly shorter video, but I hope you are doing well. And thank you for sticking with me, even though I missed a week. I do try to record weekly, but this next couple months here are kind of insane. And I've obviously shared about the sheep, but I will share about more exciting stuff as the months unfold. But it's a crazy time, you guys. It's a crazy time. Have a great rest of your week, guys. Take care. Bye.